we really short of energy? You know, I'm a free thinker, but today's in the name of the God, I'd like to let you know that the God has given us more than sufficient energy, huge amount of energy given to us. It is a matter of how to convert one form of the energy to the other form of energy that you want, like for example, electricity. All right. Of course, related to this is the cost. All right. Next, look at a global trend. World population increase. We know that, all right? Now we have close to 7 billion population, and we know that population grow, and ultimately you will reach a steady state. Next is the urbanization. Getting more and more people move from the rural area to the urban area. And think about it, we are talking about DG, distributed generation, just like I mentioned. When the population all move to the urban, and you're competing in the lands of the livings for people to live, will you put up a lot of renewable energy, wind turbine, solar PV everywhere to harness the energy? Not possible, right? Even in Singapore, we also question that, what is the return of investment, the economic benefit if you use certain areas, unless you use the rooftop, if you use the lands, for the solar PV, how much energy you can harvest. The city is only account for 2% of the surface area, 50% of the world population, 75% of the energy consumption, and 80% of the CO2 we produce. So you and me, has to answer to the global warming. We hope to be able to pick, this fossil energy at 2020, meaning that maximum, and subsequently you can see substantial reduce and replaced by the renewable energy. It is very important that we have to reduce the energy intensity, i.e. to improve the energy efficiency. In Singapore, our promise is the reduction of the energy intensity is 35% by 2030. We have to decouple economic growth from the energy consumption. Look, the previous slide we mentioned that the world was getting richer, right? Richer doesn't mean that you use more energy. You can use less energy, you can make things more efficient. The last point is introducing renewable energy, reduce 50% of the CO2. So on one hand, we decouple the economic growth, from our energy consumption, we bring it down, we make it more efficient. On the other hand, we deploy more renewable energy. So this country is densely populated. In terms of population density, Singapore is the second in the world. In terms of city, Singapore ranked number 3. No natural resources, we all know. Facing immense challenge, finding a balance between economic growth and environmental sustainability. And you may not know that Singapore is the world's largest bunker fuel trading center. Buy a lot of these crude oils and then resell again. So this is a very significant in terms of the way you count the CO2. If you count towards us, that is huge because you're the world's largest oil trading center. But the United Nations methodology is different, which is used by Singapore, is these emissions are attributed to the country producing those products. But there's no excuse that we must do something for our environment. Even a very small economy, we still have to commit that we are also, takes the environment very seriously. So the totals of the CO2 that we produce is about 0.14% of the global CO2 emission, but our population is only 0.074% of the world population. So meaning that per capita we generate more, right? Let's look at a Singapore renewable energy situation. We don't have a wind. Our average wind speed is about 2 meters per second. You cannot even get the wind turbine speed. Solar energy is equally bad. Our solar energy is diffusive, partly because of the cloudy weathers, as well as a high humidity, the water vapor diffuse, and instead of ultraviolet, it deflects to become, infrared, which is bad for the solar PV. You need very, very big installation and then to collect a couple of dollars, right, during that peak times. So that's why from the economic perspective that, you look at the return on investment, whether it works, you have to rethink about it. Singapore announced the world's largest floating solar PV platform, and with 10 companies' participation. We hope to be able to use that free space, to generate the electricity, and there's no obstruction. Very good. And theoretically, we can harvest 500 megawatt peaks kind of a power, which is quite substantial. So Singapore's effort in sustainability, we have to build a world-class infrastructure in 6 areas, right? If you look at this, urban mobility, look at the green transport, intelligent, driverless kind of vehicles, built environment and the city management, green buildings, urban greenery, urban plannings, clean energy, of course, renewable energy, deploy more renewable energy, smart grid, energy efficiency kind of stuff. Environment and water, you look at the waters, waste waters, kind of a treatment, pollution control, carbon services. Security, homeland security, cyber securities, command and control system, public safety. Infocom, look at the green IT, e-governments, and telecommunications. So these are the 6 areas that we wanted to cover. So Energy Trilemma rankings, index rank the country in terms of their likely ability to provide sustainable energy policy through the 3-dimension energy trilemma. Energy security, we look at the energy supplies, the energy infrastructure. Some energy infrastructures is very outdated. You may work halfway, then you're blackout. And the ability of the participating energy company to meet the currents, not only the current, but also the future demand. Energy equity is accessibility and affordability. Many countries are not accessible to the electricity. Like Philippines, there are many islands. Those islands, has a difficulty to access to the grid, the electricity grid, and also the affordability. Especially diesel prices are very expensive on the island, right? Because you have to transport the fuel to a very remote area. That's very costly. Environmental sustainability, we look at energy efficiency, and of course, renewable energy and the low carbon kind of sources. So Denmark is very good, AAA, right? And Singapore, not too bad, CBA, C is for this, B, A, right? Surprisingly, in terms of environmental sustainability, we are A grade. Our vision is to be the greenest eco-campus in the world. And of course, we set target how we wanted to achieve. The area that we wanted to cover include energy management, green buildings, waste management, user behavior, green transport, and the deployments of renewable energy. So REIPS stand for Renewable Energy Integration Demonstrator Singapore, right? So basically, currently we have before we use this to have a major renewable energy integration demonstration, there is a diesel generator to provide the load, the electricity, to the small usage, on islands, kind of a residential, desalination orders. And soon we will have renewable energy. We will have a solar PV, wind turbine, tidal turbines, or current turbine in the water. All will connect together. And once you have a renewable energy, you cannot do without the energy storage, because all this renewable energy, wind and solar, they have a problem. The problem is intermittency in nature. So you need to have energy storage to can ensure that steady supplies of the electricity. But surprisingly, if you go to China, you can see that they are very advanced in the renewable energy area. Go Winds, look at a few, China Solar. These are very, very huge kind of a company involving in this kind of production, and they can really make the cost very low. So they are doing it, and of course this gives opportunity to many companies, to invest into this renewable energy. And we see the opportunity why we work on the REAPS program, because we also see the opportunity for Singapore. Look, Indonesia has 18,000 islands, and Philippines also have 8,000 islands. There's a lot of islands. Many places, they have a difficulty to access to the electricity. That is something that, we are aiming at, Together with multinational company and our company, can we work together, going to this island, and so that every household on the island will have accessibility to the electricity. Like our REAPS programs, we try to engage as many ASEAN countries as possible. We try to engage because research, education, that's borderless, right? So we take their student, we train their student, we even the high-end typhoon, we even flew over there, produce electricity for the villages. We have done it. So politics, leave it to the politician. And what we can do is on the education research that we are looking at the much bigger objective of how to serve the mankind.